Our team stream is live.
Sorry?
Like the team stream is live.
Yeah, the OPL stream, it says...
Yeah, I know. I've got it. There, it's starting now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Carrico Home Field for tonight's OPL match of the week between the home Kingston Sentinels and the visiting Richmond Hill Soccer Club. It is the penultimate match here in the OPL Division III regular season. Taking a look at the OPL standings, the Sentinels leading the way through 12 matches with 33 points, 11 wins, 1 loss, and no draws. They're narrowly ahead of second place, the Borough FC, who have 10 wins, no losses, and 2 draws for 32 points. So 3 big points on the line here for the Sentinels this evening. They'll need at least 4 points out of a possible 6 remaining to clinch first place in the Northeast Division in the OPL Division 3. We are just getting ready for kickoff. I'm Paul Susi with the call of tonight's match. We'll be looking for tonight's player of the game, Kingston Sentinels star Jacob Ball. 17 goals this season through 12 matches, averaging over 1 goal a game. An incredible season in the inaugural season for the Kingston Sentinels. Sentinels wearing their blue kits with gold trim, and the visiting Richmond Hill SC white tops with green stripes and green shorts. As we get set to kick things off, it'll be Stefano D'Ambrosio putting the ball in play to start the match here at Carrico Home Field. And there we go, we are underway here on a beautiful Friday night in Kingston. Play down in the Richmond Hill zone, as neither side able to gain control, and that's kicked out of bounds by Richmond Hill. And so it'll be a throw-in for the Sentinels. And now played in. D'Ambrosio plays it back to Okoye, and he plays it across the field to the near side of the broadcast booth. That's Isaac Charbonneau. Daniel Lee plays it over to Kyle Kazda. Sentinels being methodic with their approach as they enter the offensive zone. Charbonneau tried to find his teammate. That was Connor Smith he was looking for, and referee stops play as Richmond Hill will get possession. Richmond Hill plays it across the field. That was a pass intended for Andreas Nikitopoulos, but the Sentinels regain possession. And the ball goes again out of bounds, so that'll be another throw-in for the Sentinels. That's Ethan Trask sending it into play. And then that'll be a goal kick, I believe, for Richmond Hill. Actually, no, it'll be a corner kick, and that's Jacob Ball who will set up. Ball signals and puts it into play, and that's knocked away by Richmond Hill SC goalie Ilya Bislimaki, and that'll be another corner kick on the near side of the broadcast booth here at Carrico Home Field. Jacob Ball getting in place for another corner kick. Nearing the 3-minute mark here in this evening's match. Ball and a header there by Daniel Lee. And D'Ambrosio with a strike from about 25 yards out, but that sails over the net, and it'll be a goal kick for Richmond Hill. Richmond Hill can't maintain possession, and that'll be another throw in for the home side. And that's back out of bounds off of a Richmond Hill player. An incredible inaugural season thus far for Kingston. Their first year here in the OPL. 11 wins through 12 matches. And that ball sent back across midfield, but stays there and finally sent back into the Sentinel zone for the first time this evening. And now here comes Richmond Hill with a cross pass and a strike, but that's blocked. And then sent in, but cleared away now by D'Ambrosio. A pass for Jacob Ball. And he's stripped away by Francesco Marles. Nikotopoulos with it now as he's covered by two Sentinels. Ball played back for Alessio Kasech. And that's across the field for Juan Calpa. And that's out of bounds off of the Sentinels, so it'll be a Richmond Hill throw-in. Just past 5 minutes here in the first half of this 13th match of the season for both clubs. And a long throw into Sentinels territory. And out of bounds again for another Richmond Hill throw-in. And they maintain possession as they try to regroup. Played back across midfield. Pass up the near side. And the ball meant to be left for a Richmond Hill attacker was sent back the other way. Jacob Ball now with it in the corner. A cross pass. And D'Ambrosio looking for a header, but not able to connect, and that sails out of bounds, and it'll be a Richmond Hill possession here. Ball sails to midfield. Ball sent across to Karkanarzi. And he gets it back again, but that's kicked out of bounds by Excel Okoye. And it'll be a throw-in for Richmond Hill. Ball sent in, a battle there between Richmond Hill and the Kingston defenders. Sent back, and that's Alessio Kasaj with it, and it goes out of bounds. And I believe that was off of a Sentinel, so it'll be a throw-in for Richmond Hill. And that was number 10, Matthew DiStefano, whiffed on a kick, and then a penalty called there, and the Sentinels will regain possession. And a long strike towards the goal, easily played by the Richmond Hill goaltender. Pressure there by the Sentinels attackers. And the ball goes out the field. Kazda intercepts that pass, but Richmond Hill gets it back as they make their way across midfield. Nikitopoulos, he's tackled by Isaac Charbonneau, who gets possession back for the Sentinels. Connor Smith now with it. And that goes out of bounds off of Richmond Hill, the officials are saying. Richmond FC didn't like that call, but now it comes back the other way. So, call there on Samuel Ajanipa, and Richmond Hill will put the ball back into play with a free kick here. Kasach plays it across the field. Richmond Hill still with possession. DiStefano plays it back. And then back again for Kasach. Or Kachai, rather. And that's out of bounds off of the Sentinels. And it'll be another throw-in for Richmond Hill. And that's a beautiful interception there by Samuel Ajanipa. And he tries to get around the Richmond Hill defender. He does, but can he keep it from going out of bounds? He does. However, it is intercepted by Richmond Hill as they make their way back towards midfield. And then Kazda able to get the ball back, and he'll send it all the way back to the Kingston goaltender, who plays it over to Luke Green. And then up the field for Ajanipa. Ajanipa hangs on to it. And then that goes off of the Richmond Hill defender and then back off of Ajanipa. So it'll be a throw-in in favor of the visitors. Ten and a half minutes into this match here. Richmond Hill loses possession here, and Ambrosio with it. He plays it across for Sean O'Meara. O'Meara takes it across the far side with pressure from Richmond Hill, who regains possession as they come back up the field. That's Francesco Marles sending it all the way down. But the Sentinels will take the ball away, and as they try to return into the offensive zone. Maxell Okoye with a long pass across the field intended for Ajanipa. And now Charbonneau tried to make a pass for Ajanipa, but goes back into the possession of the Sentinels. And that's Connor Smith playing it back for Kazda. And then across for Luke Green. Luke Green looking for an option. He'll play it up himself. Over for Charbonneau. He gets around a defender for Ajanipa. Back to Charbonneau. Now over for Luke Green. Connor Smith with it now. Over to midfield for Okoye. And now D'Ambrosio plays it back down along the far corner for Jacob Ball. He tries to get around the defenders, but his pass intercepted and sent back the other way. And now D'Ambrosio with it again. Over for Okoye, and then back for Green. Ajanipa with it now, near, and then gets around with a nice strike, but that goes just up to the left of the goal and out of bounds, so it'll be a goal kick for Richmond Hill. Richmond with a long strike downfield as they maintain possession. D'Ambrosio fighting for it along the far boundary, but Richmond Hill will maintain possession as they regroup in their side of midfield. Alessio Kachai with it now, and he'll send it far down the field, but doesn't reach its intended target. That was Andreas Nikitopoulos. And now here's Lou Green, plays it across for Kazda. Kazda up for, I believe that was Sean O'Meara. And now Green with it. Over for Okoye. Kazda with it again. And in the battle there, down low, as an attempt to clear by Richmond Hill is not successful yet. And now it's kept in by the Sentinels. And that's Ethan Trask with it. Luke Green. Back over for Okoye, but he's got pressure from a Richmond Hill defender. And now they make their way back up the near side of the field. Charbonneau able to get it away from him out of bounds, but it'll be a throw-in for Richmond Hill. And now the official saying it's actually a Kingston ball here. I believe he may have thrown it from the football out of bounds boundary. And so the ball returns to Kingston as Okoye comes up near midfield. And a pass intended for Sean O'Meara is intercepted and comes back the other way. D'Ambrosio tries to bring it back into the Richmond Hill zone. He does, but the visitors regain possession as Juan Culpa will send it back into the keeper's territory. And that's a pass up for Karka Nazari. And then back down for Kalpa. He's got pressure from Connor Smith. And that's intercepted by Jacob Ball, but kicked away. And Okoye has his strike blocked as it sails towards the out-of-bounds line, but that's kept in by Sean O'Meara. And out of bounds off of a Richmond Hill player, so it'll be a throw-in for the Sentinels. And back across midfield. Nolan Berry will play it up for Kazda, who sends it up for D'Ambrosio at midfield. And then Richmond Hill will get the ball back as they try and penetrate the Sentinels side of the pitch. And that's out of bounds off of Kingston. Richmond Hill with the possession in their own territory as they make an effort to get towards the Kingston goal, and that's out of bounds as Karkanarzi can't hang on to it, and it'll be a throw-in for Kingston as Okoye plays it back for Kazda. Kazda up the field and then back for Okoye. He'll take it up as he's covered quickly, and he'll dish it off to the far side. And then back for Kazda. Now Luke Green with it. He's got a bit of space as he looks for someone to pass to, and he does to Connor Smith. Back for Okoye. And then now Luke Green. Jacob Ball on the far side of the field calling for it. Doesn't reach ball as Richmond Hill takes it back the other way, and a long pass down the field is sent out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in for the visitors. Official blows the play as a Sentinel is slow to get up. I believe that might be D'Ambrosio. It'll be now a free kick with Luke Green putting it back into play. As we approach 20 minutes played here. Okoye has lots of room. Sends it for Connor Smith. Back for Okoye. Kazda plays it back for Luke Green. Luke Green, tons of room. He takes a moment to pause and sends it over to Kazda, who plays it up for Okoye. And he tries to find, I believe that might have been O'Meara, but it goes out of bounds instead for a Richmond Hill throw-in. O'Meara tries to send it back the other way, but Richmond Hill able to regain possession. That's out of bounds off of Richmond Hill, the officials are saying. It'll be a throw-in for Kingston. All the way down the field towards Jacob Ball, but the Richmond Hill defender gets in front of it and sends it back into Sentinels territory. Okoye fends off the defender to keep possession. And that's Trask. Sends it all the way down towards Jacob Ball. He's guarded heavily there, and his jersey was pulled. The official races towards, and we're going to get a yellow. A yellow card handed to Richmond Hill. And the ball is played in, but the official says a little too quick. Free kick now as Stefano D'Ambrosio goes to put it back into play. as the sun sets here in Kingston. With a long strike, easily handled by the Richmond Hill goaltender, Ilya Bislamaki, as he sends it up. And now that's taken away by Sean O'Meara and played back down for Trask, who sends it over to Kazda. Now D'Ambrosio with it. Trask with it again. Back for Kazda. Okoye sends it down into the box, but that's played by the keeper, Vislamaki. Jacob Ball not giving him much room as he picks it up. And he'll kick it high into Sentinels territory. And that's out of bounds. Last touched by Kingston, and it'll be a throw-in for Richmond Hill. Still no score here in the first half as we are through 23 minutes. As Kazda plays it up. O'Meara back for, I believe that might have been Trask. Lou Green with it now. Sends it up for Charbonneau. Charbonneau for Smith. Back for Charbonneau. He loses possession momentarily as he gets it back. And lots of pressure. And that's out of bounds off of Richmond Hill for another throw-in. Luke Green hangs on to it as he tries to find an option. He'll pass it to Connor Smith. Smith with it again. Tries to get around the defender. That's out of bounds off of Richmond Hill. Kazda plays it across for Ethan Trask, who sends it all the way across the field for Luke Green. Luke Green plays it up for Charbonneau, and that's out of bounds again off of Andreas Nikitopoulos. So it'll be a throw-in. And Janipu back for Charbonneau. And now Okoye tries to fend off the defender. He'll send it back for Smith. Smith loses possession. And that's stripped by the Sentinels, but Richmond Hill able to maintain possession. And a long pass across the field. Connects. But now Okoye takes it back the other side. Up for Ball. Ball tries to get around the defender with a strike. And just wide. And that yellow card earlier coming to Francesco Marles of Richmond Hill. Put back into play. Pressure by the Sentinels as Richmond Hill able to, or forced rather, to retreat into their own territory. They send it into midfield. And the Sentinels able to strip the ball and kicked back to the far side of the field as O'Meara tries to pressure the Richmond Hill attacker, but they maintain possession. And now there's Trask trying to get around Richmond Hill, and it'll go out of bounds off of the Richmond Hill player for another Kingston throw-in. And there's D'Ambrosio, who plays it back for Trask. One of the better crowds here at Carrico Home Field this evening for the final home match of the regular season for the Sentinels. As the ball played by Nolan Berry. He's been relatively quiet through 27 minutes here. Luke Green hangs on to the ball as he looks for his options, and he'll hand it off to Okoye. Okoye cuts through towards midfield. Connor Smith over for Kazda. Kazda, I believe that's for Trask, and now D'Ambrosio. He plays it across to the near side of the broadcast booth for Luke Green. Luke Green tries to get away from the defender. And that goes all the way down the field, and it'll be a goal kick as Ajanipa not able to keep it in bounds. Neither team able to get very much offense so far, although the ball has been mostly in Kingston's possession so far here as we passed the 28-minute mark, and that's sent all the way across midfield and then sent back the other way by Charbonneau. Richmond Hill with it near the bleachers on the west side of Carrico home field. And then across for Di Stefano. He'll take it up and send it over for Karkanazari. He's pressured by Ajanipu. And Kazda gets it back for the Sentinels. Sentinels coach Christian Hoffler not too pleased with some of the non-calls, or at least what he feels are non-calls so far in this first half. And Ambrosio plays it all the way across towards Charbonneau. He gets it back, tries to get around the defender. He'll send a strike off of the defender and out of bounds for a throw-in, as now Luke Green has it for the Sentinels. He'll play it back for Kazda, over for Trask, up for D'Ambrosio. D'Ambrosio plays it back. I believe that's Sean O'Meara who sends it over for Trask, and he in turn will send it across the field for Luke Green. Luke Green back down for Ajanipu, over for Smith. Now Okoye, and now O'Meara with it again with a strike, and that goes wide to the right and out of bounds for another goal kick. Sentinels faithful applauding that effort. And that's out of bounds, off of Richmond Hill for another Kingston throw-in. The sun was shining brightly prior to kickoff here at Carrico home field, but there's been some cloud cover, and the temperature has cooled quite a bit in the first 30 minutes. Connor Smith with some room. He'll play it across the field. That's Trask with it along the far side. He hangs on to it, sends it for O'Meara. O'Meara down the field towards Charbonneau, but that's sent back the other way by Richmond Hill. And then a strike from D'Ambrosio through the football uprights. Unfortunately, those don't count in soccer. Ball sent all the way through midfield, and a call there against the Sentinels, so that'll be a free kick for Richmond Hill. Matthew DiStefano will put the ball back into play for the visiting squad. His attempt is sent back the other way by Kyle Kazda. Richmond Hill trying to keep it in bounds. Not able to, so that'll be a Kingston throw-in. And that's Ethan Trask who will do the honors. He makes a short pass towards Okoye. And Ethan Trask with a long strike downfield as Jacob Ball chases after it. He's not able to get there quickly enough. As Ajanipu able to break away with it. But he's covered quickly by Richmond Hill as they come back the other side. That was Matthew DiStefano. Goes out of bounds, but that'll be off of a Kingston player. And now the throw in back into play. DiStefano sends it back for Kachai. And now the keeper, Bislamaki, he'll put it back into play as well. And a pressure situation there for Richmond Hills. They're able to maintain possession, but Connor Smith now with lots of pressure, forcing Juan Kalpa to send it out of bounds. So we're through 34 minutes, and it'll be a substitution for the Sentinels. It'll be Ezekiel Glasgow heading into this one, with Samuel Ajanipa heading on the bench.
Ezekiel Glasgow entering the game for Samuel Ajanipa.
Ethan Trask, he'll send it across towards midfield for Luke Green. Isaac Charbonneau. Sean O'Meara and D'Ambrosio sends it back for Luke Green. He'll send it all the way back to Nolan Berry. At least 10 minutes to go here in the first half as we pass the 35-minute mark. And the official making a call there. Ball played back to the keeper. He'll send it to Kachai. Kachai looking for some options. He'll send it all the way downfield for Nikotopoulos. And that'll be off of Isaac Charbonneau and out of bounds for a throw-in with Karkanazari doing the honors. And a chance there. Turned away by the Sentinels. Probably the closest either club has come so far this evening. Kachai will play it back into the box for Bislamaki, who sends it back to Kachai. Kachai looks, sends it back to Bislamaki. Kachai clears it, but O'Meara gets in front of that one as Kingston regains possession. Luke Green with some room as he looks downfield. Tries to connect with Jacob Ball, but that's intercepted. But D'Ambrosio had a chance there. And now here comes Connor Smith. He got in front of it, but couldn't maintain possession. And now Trask sends it over for Connor Smith, but he's tackled hard. And another call coming against Richmond Hill. Can't quite tell which player that was, but he definitely got a handful of a blue jersey. Okoye sends it over for Luke Green. Luke Green down for D'Ambrosio. He can't hang on to it. Kicked up high by the Richmond Hill defender, but Kingston able to hang on to it. Okoye with it now as he looks, sends it to Luke Green. Luke Green with some room. Tried to find D'Ambrosio, but Richmond Hill got in front of it. And now Nolan Berry comes out of the box. And with a wide open net, Richmond Hill not able to convert that chance as Kyle Kazda does his best keeper impression to keep it out of the net. As we are through 38 minutes here this evening. And we're going to get a corner kick with Matthew DiStefano putting it back into play as both squads get in position. And a short pass back for DiStefano. And headers don't connect as it'll just roll out of bounds. And the official saying off of a Sentinel, so it'll be another corner kick on the opposite side of the field. Or no, it'll be a throw-in rather. No, I was right the first time. It'll be a corner. Sends it in towards the box. And that's cleared from the zone. But not enough as Richmond Hill able to keep threatening for the first goal of the match. And then finally it's sent out of the way. Jacob Ball with it along the far side. He's got pressure. And that's kicked out of bounds by Richmond Hill. So it'll be a Sentinels throw in. As Connor Smith will send it back to Kyle Kazda. And now Green has some room. He looks for an option. Tries to send it across for Ball. But Richmond Hill defender able to get in front of that one. And a pass intended for Andreas Nikitopoulos. He was out of bounds but didn't realize this, so it'll be a throw-in for Kingston. Sends it back down towards Glasgow, but does not connect, and that's sent back towards midfield. Now Kazda with a header towards Connor Smith. Now Ethan Trask sends it back to Kazda. Okoye briefly back to Kazda, who sends it across for Luke Green. Luke Green takes a sprint, passes it up for O'Meara. O'Meara tries to get around the defender, circles back, makes some room. Green across, and a chance there for Jacob Ball, and just wide. And they're calling for a call here. I think he's saying he had a jersey grab there, but the official not having any of it as both sides plead their case. As Jacob Ball now will take it into the corner for a corner kick. Nearing the 42-minute mark here at Carrico home field. And a strike towards the box. And a chance there. Connor Smith with a strike, and that goes just wide to the right. And it'll be a goal kick. Bislamaki gets set to put the ball back into play, signaling to his teammates to get into position. With a long strike downfield towards the broadcast booth as it's sent back towards the midfield, and a call there against the Sentinels for a free kick. That looks like it'll be taken by Di Stefano. A long strike towards the goal. That's played by Barry. Trask with it along the far side. He'll play it up for Connor Smith. And a long feed for D'Ambrosio. And Jacob Ball has it now as the keeper made a play for it. But Sentinel's not able to capitalize, but it'll be a corner kick now as Jacob Ball gets into position as we near the 44th minute of play here in the first half. Ball puts the ball back into play, and a header there from Luke Green, but not quite strong enough as it's easily played by Ilya Bislamaki. And a long strike down the field from Richmond Hill doesn't go to the intended target. And now Trask will play for D'Ambrosio. And a long pass down the field for O'Meara. O'Meara chasing after it to keep it in bounds, but cannot. So it'll be a goal kick. Bislamaki puts the ball back into play with a long strike down over midfield, and that's out of bounds off of Okoye as we are now through 45 minutes as we wait for the official to signal out of time. Ball played back into Richmond Hill territory. And that'll do it for the first half here at Carrico Home Field in Kingston. 0-0.
The halftime score is Kingston Sentinels 0, Richmond Hill Soccer Club 0.
So, a few chances on either side of the pitch, but still no score through 45 and a few minutes. So we'll take a quick break here at Carrico Home Field, about 15 minutes, and we'll be back for second half action between the Kingston Sentinels and Richmond Hill SC. You're watching OPL Soccer Game of the Week on the OPL YouTube channel. For all the latest OPL match updates, scores, stats, standings, and news updates, be sure to download the PSLC Matchday app for free on the Apple or Android app stores. Also, be sure to check out the Ontario Premier League website at www.oplsoccer.ca, powered by Comet. You can also stay connected to the OPL on social media. Follow OPL on Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Also, be sure to subscribe to OPL TV on YouTube to view full matches, highlights, and feature stories throughout the 2026 season. We'd like to acknowledge the following league partners: the Cruyff Institute, educating the future leaders of the soccer industry; Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, refuel. One Soccer is the home of soccer in Canada. Follow your favorite OPL alumni as they compete in the Canadian Premier League, TELUS Canadian Championship, and with our Canadian national teams, all exclusively on One Soccer. Voit, the official ball of the Canadian Premier League and the preferred match ball for the Ontario Premier League. Hummel, the official apparel supplier of the OPL. Vibrant Performance, Canada's most trusted brand for automotive race parts and accessories. The Canadian Premier League, our game, our country, our league. And Ontario Soccer, encouraging us all to play, inspire, and unite.
For all the latest OPL match updates, scores, stats, standings, and news updates, be sure to download the PSLC Matchday app for free from the Apple or Android app stores. Also, be sure to check out the Ontario Premier League website at www.oplsoccer.ca. All right, Kingston, let's get back to the Sentinels! Everybody more passion, I need more energy! Let's get Sentinels! Are we ready for the second half? One more time, let's hear that one! Come on, Kingston! All right, let's get this second half underway! Kicking off the first 45 with a substitution, number 9, Carol Guzman, entering the game for number 17, Sean O'Meara.
Welcome back to Carrico home field for the second half of tonight's match between the Kingston Sentinels and Richmond Hill SC. Still no score. And then to begin the first half, another substitution by the Sentinels. Harold Guzman enters the game in place of Sean O'Meara. Richmond Hill makes a play to get the ball down the field, but that's intercepted by Kingston. Now there's a battle for the ball at midfield. Ball sent back, but pushed out of bounds. It'll be a Kingston throw-in. Ball play back rather for Kyle Kazda as he's got some room and plays it across for Connor Smith. Isaac Charbonneau with it as he pushes it down and out of bounds for a goal kick. This is the only game of the night in the OPL 3 Northeast Division, as Connor Smith makes a play and passes it off to Glasgow, who leaves it for Okoye. Okoye with some room. And an effort there. Charbonneau can't hang on to it, gets it back, plays it up for Ball. Ball with it. He sends it over the net and out of bounds. Elsewhere in the OPL, in League 1, St. Catharines Roma up 1-0 over Vaughan Azzurri. That's in the 35th minute. And at halftime in Ontario League 2, Hamilton United and Inter Toronto 2 are tied 0-0. And Guzman with a strike that goes wide to the right of the goal and out of bounds for a throw-in. That'll be Ilya Bislamaki putting it back into play. Ball sent back towards the Richmond Hill end, but a pass intercepted by Richmond Hill. But D'Ambrosio regains possession, and he'll hand it off to Nolan Berry. And now Luke Green with it. Kazda, he'll send it back to Berry, who makes an effort to get it to Connor Smith, but that goes out of bounds, as two eager fans chase after that ball. And now a chance there. Glasgow makes his way up towards midfield, but his pass intercepted. Now with some pressure now. That's Francesco Marles, trying to make his way up, but Richmond Hill forced to retreat into their own zone and regroup as we enter the 51st minute here in Kingston. Right. Pass cross field as Isaac Charbonneau has possession for Kingston. Tons of pressure, though, from Richmond Hill as he comes back up the other side. And that's stripped by Richmond Hill, but out of bounds off of their defender. And it'll be a throw-in from Connor Smith towards Glasgow. He's got some room, but the Richmond Hill defender able to send it back the other way. Kyle Kazda will pass it over to Luke Green and out of danger. And now that'll be Ethan Trask sending it back towards Luke Green again. And then back over to Trask as he looks for an option. He's got some room. And he'll send it back for Green. And a long strike downfield towards Jacob Ball. He'll send it off his chest, but towards the Richmond Hill defender. And that's out of bounds off of a Sentinels player. So Richmond Hill with the throw-in. That was Francesco Marles sending it back into play. And then there's going to be a foul here, and that's a yellow card against Luke Green. So that'll be one either side so far this match.
Yellow card issued to Kingston Sentinels number 3, Luke Green, number 57.
It's Matthew DiStefano getting ready for free kick. He'll send it off to Andreas Nikotopoulos. And that goes out of bounds. The official saying off of Kingston for a goal kick. So Matthew DiStefano will get in position to put it back into play as both sides get set in front of the goal. And a short pass. And a strike over the net. And out of play. And a chance there for Kingston to come up the other side as Charbonneau tries to connect with Jacob Ball. He does, and he's taken down hard. And the official speaking to Richmond Hill. And some of the fans asking for a card, but they're not going to get it as Jacob Ball gets ready to put it back into play. And with the strike towards the goal, but that's blocked and scores! That is Isaac Charbonneau putting Kingston on the board. The home crowd loving that one as Kingston pulls ahead. That's Isaac Charbonneau, which may have been his first of the season. And Kingston up 1-0 through 55 and a half minutes here at Carrico home field. And that ball goes out of bounds off of Richmond Hill, so that'll be a goal kick. Luke Green with some space as he looks for an option, and he'll leave it for Ethan Trask as he tries to get away from the defenders and splits two of them, but that pass intercepted as he hustles to try and get it back. And that's sent towards the out-of-bounds boundary, but Kingston able to regain possession momentarily as now DiStefano has it, but pressure applied, and now Okoye able to come away with it as he sends it back for Charbonneau. Charbonneau looking for somebody to pass to, but he can't hang on to it, and it's out of bounds. Off of Richmond FC, the official's saying, and that's a throw-in. But Richmond FC able to get it back swiftly. But a pass there broken up by Trask, and that's sent across for Guzman. Guzman hangs on to it with a pass through the defenders, but he can't hang on to it with a second effort. And now Jacob Ball tried to thread the needle and back to Guzman, but would not be, is now Richmond Hill coming back up the far side. And that's broken up by D'Ambrosio, but out of bounds, and Richmond Hill will get it back as we approach the 58th minute here. Now a 1-0. And a pass will go out of bounds for another goal kick. So that'll be Nolan Berry putting it back into play. Kyle Kazda sends it up for Okoye. Back to Kazda, who sends it up for Charbonneau. Charbonneau tries to get it through the defense, but that is poked away by Francesco Marles. And an attempt there, and that goes out of bounds off a strike by Richmond Hill. But it'll be a goal kick for Kingston. There's Lou Green sending it up the field, down for Jacob Ball. He can't hang on to it. He was looking to the official for a call as he felt he was maybe held on to by the Richmond Hill defender. Oh, and a collision there as the ball goes out of bounds, and the official saying it's off of Kingston, and we're going to get a substitution there as Ethan Brown comes in for Richmond Hill. Andreas Nikotopoulos exits the game. And Connor Smith will play it back for Nolan Berry. And now Lou Green across for D'Ambrosio. He retreats back and passes it back to Nolan Berry. For D'Ambrosio, over for Kazda. Kazda looking upfield. He'll pass it off to Connor Smith. Connor Smith trying to get around the defender. Up for Isaac Charbonneau. Isaac Charbonneau has a bit of room. Tries to find Jacob Ball. But Ezekiel Glasgow able to get away with the ball. Over for Ball. And that was D'Ambrosio trying to get it. And Glasgow was very close there to being able to connect with the loose ball. And now that is cleared by Richmond Hill. But sent back the other way. Guzman with it. He's got a bit of room. Looks for an option. Tries to get around the defender. He does. But that's stripped away by the defender. Now Ball intercepts the pass. He tries to get around. And now D'Ambrosio able to make contact. And now Kingston with it again. And that's sent back into Kingston territory. Kazda with it. Across for Connor Smith. As he's got plenty of room. And sends a strike all the way downfield. That's off of a Richmond Hill defender and back into Bislamaki's box and puts it back into play as Richmond Hill trying to find a way to get down into the offensive zone, which they've not spent much time tonight. And that's broken up by Trask, but out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in by the defenders, or the visitors rather. Put back into play. Down back towards Bislamaki. Jacob Ball applying the pressure, but Richmond Hill able to come back down the other way. as Connor Smith tries to fend off the defender and lets it go out of bounds for a goal kick. The Richmond Hill player arguing the official for a call, but it will not be, as Nolan Berry able to put it back into play as he sends it over to Luke Green, as we have crossed 63 minutes of play. Luke Green with some space as he makes his way upfield, and he'll send it down towards Isaac Charbonneau. He's able to get there, but pressure and a chance there from D'Ambrosio, and what a stop by Biz Lamaki. Another great chance by Kingston. Some dark clouds make their way over Carrico home field. And cleared downfield. And Trask not able to get in front of that one, so now a chance here for Richmond Hill. And what a clear there by Trask as he's able to get in front of it, but it'll be a corner kick for Richmond Hill. He puts it back into play towards the box. And a header there and a goal from Richmond Hill to tie things up. That's number 9, Ethan Brown. So in the 66th minute, we're tied at 1 here at Carrico home field. And a Kingston substitution now with Excel Okoye exiting in favor of Tyler Martins. Ball sent back into the Kingston offensive territory and out of bounds off of Richmond Hill, so it'll be a throw-in. Connor Smith sending it back towards Kyle Kazda, and he gives it back to Smith right away. Smith up for Glasgow. Glasgow taken down hard as Connor Smith able to get it back. Now Isaac Charbonneau with it again. He hangs on to it. Down for Martins. Martins across for Green. Green hangs on to it for Trask. Trask sends it over to Connor Smith. Connor Smith down for Charbonneau. Charbonneau tries to connect with D'Ambrosio. He keeps it in and back up for Charbonneau. Charbonneau for D'Ambrosio across, and that's broken up by a defender. Martins hangs on to it, and he'll send it back for Green as Green looks for an option with a long strike towards the goal, but broken up by Richmond Hill. And Lou Green able to get in front of that long lead pass. So he'll send it over to Tyler Martins. Martins fakes a strike and passes it back to Kyle Kazda, who sends it over to Connor Smith. Back for Kazda. Kazda threads the needle to D'Ambrosio. He sends it off to Charbonneau. Back for D'Ambrosio. And Connor Smith across for Kyle Kazda. And now Lou Green with it. Back for Kazda. Oh, and Tyler Martin's taken down as Richmond Hill comes back the other way with an offensive rush. And that's broken up by Connor Smith, but sent back down. And that will be played by Nolan Berry. And he throws it downfield and sent back for Martins. And a long pass downfield for Charbonneau. He'll keep it in. And a play by Richmond Hill to maintain possession. And that'll be out of bounds off of Kingston. And sent all the way downfield, but Nolan Berry will grab it and pass it over for Luke Green. So there are 3 big points on the line for Kingston. They currently sit first in the Northeast Division with 33 points, but the Borough FC right behind them with 32. So Kingston will need all 6 points available to ensure first place and a spot in the promotion playoff. Kazda breaks up the chance there from Richmond Hill. And they'll send it back. That's Francesco Marles as he looks to pass it off. And Connor Smith breaks free. He's got a bit of space as he tries to find Ambrosio, but the pass wasn't strong enough. And that's kept in by Richmond Hill. There's Ethan Brown keeping it in. But now Kingston with it again. Tyler Martins. Across for Connor Smith. Connor Smith, he'll leave it again for Martins. Martins looking for an option. Sends it down towards Jacob Ball. But Jacob Ball able to get it back. And gets around the defender. Tries to make a pass, and what a strike, but a better save to keep this score tied. And Jacob Ball, he's on the pitch, and he's looking like he's in a bit of pain. As the official goes to check in on him, the medical staff getting ready to go in, but the official waves them off as Jacob Ball slowly returns to his feet. As we are through 70 minutes here at Carrico Home Field. 20 minutes or more left to play. Marles with a long pass downfield, but that's broken up by Ethan Trask, and now Guzman. He'll send it downfield towards Glasgow. Glasgow with it. He gets around the defender, but has some pressure. And gets around another defender with a nice spin move to make some room. And Glasgow with it again. Over for, I believe that was Martins, and then Trask making a chance there. And the goaltender, Bislamaki, made an effort to try and grab the ball, but lost a handle on it, and that goes out of bounds behind the goal for a corner kick. And now Jacob Ball getting ready to put it back into play as the Sentinels aim for another goal to regain the lead. And an effort there, and Bislamaki will get in front of it and get it away from the box, but Martins now, he'll put it back towards the goal, and that's sent back away from danger by Richmond FC, and that'll be down and out of bounds for a Kingston throw-in, and we're going to get a couple substitutions here. So we've got Daniel Lee coming in for Kyle Kazda. And we've got Oscar Aliaga coming in for Richmond Hill as well. Tyler Martin's with it now as he looks for somebody to pass it off to. Ethan Trask with it now. The long strike down the field towards Jacob Ball. He's able to get a handle on it. Richmond Hill FC with possession at midfield, but they retreat back into their own territory. Ethan Brown with it now, with some pressure from Kingston, as Oscar Aliaga plays it back for Alessio Kachai, and that's out of bounds. So Kingston will get it back on a throw-in. Ball played back for Luke Green. He'll send it downfield towards, that was D'Ambrosio, couldn't get a handle on it, and now Richmond Hill will maintain possession. Sends it downfield towards Ethan Brown. But that's Connor Smith not giving him much room, but he still hangs on to the ball. And there's Marlez with it as he makes a strike, and that's broken up by Kingston. And a chance there, and what an effort by Richmond Hill, and that'll go out of bounds. The Richmond Hill FC player calling for the medical staff. So a much tighter second half here. Both clubs finding the back of the net. And we've got a tight one here as we approach 75 minutes played. And it looks like we're going to get another substitution here, as we've got Hirad Hudfar coming in for the injured Richmond Hill SC player, as Luke Green makes his way up the field for Kingston. And that was Lucas Dejan exiting the game for Richmond Hill. And that ball sent down into the far corner. Jacob Ball tries to keep it in. He does. But it's in possession of Richmond Hill, and he gets it away, and that goes out of bounds. So we're going to get a corner kick on the right side of the Richmond Hill goal. Ball put into play with a chip shot, but broken up by Richmond Hill. Martin's with it now as he makes a long strike into the box, and it bounces in. And what a goal! You don't see them like that too often. Tyler Martin's. Oh, it went over the top of the goal, and I think a lot of the fans here were tricked just like I was. An optical illusion here at Carrico home field as the ball put back into play. Nolan Berry plays it up for Luke Green. Cross for Ethan Trask. He'll split the defenders up to Charbonneau, who leaves it for Connor Smith. Back down for Tyler Martins. Martins with a long pass down the field towards Guzman. And there's going to be a whistle here. And the ball will go back the other way. And a long strike down the field by Vislamaki. And Lou Green will get in front of that one. But that's out of bounds. Off of, that was Daniel Lee, who's a fresh substitution late in this one as we're into the 80th minute here at Carrico home field with a 1-1 tie at the moment. And now Jacob Ball, he breaks free. He's got a lot of room, just him in the goal. And he's taken down hard. And we're going to get a yellow. Or no, that's... Oh, the ref's saying it was offside, I believe. But what a chance there for Kingston late in this one. Or I believe he's getting a yellow to Jacob Ball. And the Kingston crowd, as loud as I've heard them all season, as they do not agree with the official's call there, as we're going to get a throw-in. Trask will send it back towards Connor Smith, who sends it across the field for Luke Green. He sprints away from the defender. And a pass up the far side for Richmond Hill with a pass attempt there, broken up and now cleared. And further down, Jacob Ball is going to make an effort for it. And Richmond Hill not able to keep it in bounds, so we're going to get a Kingston throw-in with some substitutions here coming for Richmond Hill. It'll be Thomas Adrozio exiting the game and Ibrahim Elziat coming in. And Tyler Martins with it. Across for Charbonneau. Back for Connor Smith. And then Trask across for Lee. And now D'Ambrosio trying to get it back for Kingston. Trask with it. With a long pass towards D'Ambrosio. He's got some space and it makes a play for the goal. And Glasgow not able to get possession. That'll go out of bounds for a goal kick as we're into the 83rd minute here. Still a 1-1 draw. The long strike downfield by Bislamaki, but sent back the other way. And Jacob Ball chasing after it. Tries to keep it in. The nice kick over the defender and across towards Glasgow. Glasgow, what a chance And I think it might have been offside anyway. But that strike, I actually don't believe it was offside, but what a strike from Glasgow, just slightly wide over the net, actually hit the football upright. That's out of bounds off of Connor Smith, and we'll get a throw in here from Richmond Hill. That's Trask with a long pass downfield. And Jacob Ball taken down hard there. Some very loud Kingston fans here calling for a card. I don't think they're going to get it. Ball put back into play now is the Sentinels try to make a play to put themselves in position to score, as Glasgow will leave it for Lee, down for Guzman, and then across into the box, and Bislamaki is going to get there. He'll send a kick high into the air, but does not connect to the defender, and now we're going to get a yellow card here against Ethan Trask. So moments after, Jacob Ball was taken down hard off a jersey pull with no call from the official. Ethan Trask gets a yellow as he was fending off Oscar Aliaga. And so we're going to get a free kick here as we are into the 86th minute. Still a tie game. And an attempt there goes up high and wide over the goal. So we're going to get the ball put back into play by Nolan Berry. And a long strike down the field towards Jacob Ball. He's there in time as he tries to get away from the defender. And it's going to go out of bounds for a goal kick. So time running out here for Kingston to try and come away with this win. They desperately need all 6 remaining points if they hope to secure first place in the Northeast and a spot into the promotion playoff bracket. And stripped there. Tyler Martins comes away with the ball. He's got some space with a strike and just wide of the net and off of the hand of Bislamaki. So we're going to get a corner kick here. What an absolutely beautiful play by Martins as he was able to take the ball away from the Richmond Hill player. And a chance here now as the ball put into play, but easily grabbed by Bislamaki. But that chance from Tyler Martins as good as any so far here tonight. And able to stay into play here for a moment, but Kingston now has it. Glasgow now with a corner kick. Jacob Ball is going to get into position as we're into the 88th minute now. Ball puts it into play. And a chance there. And stays in. And what a stop by Ilya Bislamaki. So Kingston with several chances here in the late stages of this match, but Bislamaki keeping the score tied at 1, and that's out of bounds off of Daniel Lee, as we are through 88 minutes into the 89th here at Carrico home field. And that's out of bounds off of Richmond Hill, so it'll be a throw-in for Kingston. Down towards Jacob Ball. And that's out of bounds off of Richmond Hill, so we'll get a throw-in from Guzman. Guzman with a long throw towards the box, but that's sent back the other way. Kingston maintains possession, but has to retreat back into their own territory. And a long strike downfield towards Charbonneau. Charbonneau has it, gets around the defender, and a pass for Martins. Martins, but he's stripped of the ball. And a pass up the field for Ibrahim Elziat. But now Connor Smith gets it back for Kingston as he sends it down for Glasgow, and D'Ambrosio tries to find Guzman, and he's able to keep it in. And now a chance there, sent towards the box, sent back away. Kingston maintains possession. Now Lee towards Charbonneau. He's not able to hang on to it, so as we approach 90 minutes played, a throw in here now from Richmond Hill. And Trask, yeah, and we're getting a call here now. Three minutes at a time now, but it looks like Ibrahim Elziat is getting a yellow here. So we're going to get 3 minutes of added time as Ethan Trask will put it back into play on a free kick from midfield. With a long strike towards the box, and a chance there. Connor Smith, and that's cleared by the Richmond Hill defender, and a chance there, and another stop by Ilya Bislamaki, who has been the difference here tonight, making several incredible stops as he sends it back down into Kingston territory. And that's cleared back the other way as Ezekiel Glasgow makes a play for it, and that's out of bounds, but they're going to say Richmond Hill possession here. So the Richmond Hill player back up to his feet. I believe that's number 11, it looks like, which is Ali Malik. And Bislamaki putting it back into play with a long strike down the pitch. And now the Sentinels coming back up. Jacob Ball with it as he tries to get away from the defender. And a chance there. And what another stop by Ilya Bislamaki. An incredible strike by Jacob Ball. The defender did have a handful of jersey before the strike, but he's able to still
get an incredible chance. And now he'll get another corner kick here in added time. Puts it into play, and a chance there cleared. As Nolan Barry all the way out of his goal. Sends it over to Connor Smith. Connor Smith getting around the defender. He puts it back and out of bounds. So still some time left to play here as Bislamaki gets ready to send it back towards midfield with a long strike. And that's downfield. Lou Green. He can't clear it. But it takes an odd bounce, and he's trying to make a play for it. Can't hang on to it. And here's a chance for Richmond Hill. But Nolan Barry's going to get there. And that'll do it. So your final score here at Carrico home field is a 1-1 draw. Isaac Charbonneau with the first goal for Kingston. And then Ethan Brown from Richmond Hill SC tied it up. So a disappointing finish here for Kingston, who absolutely needed all 6 of their remaining possible points to secure first place in the Northeast. So they'll move up to 34 points on the table. And with one more match on Monday, so that'll do it here from Carrico home field. I'm Paul Soucy, who had the call of tonight's match, and we'll see you next time on the OPL YouTube channel.